Here we go, guys. Welcome. TGIF, people. It is Friday. I can't even believe it. How did this even happen? Another week has gone by. How's everyone doing today? It has been a little bit of a crazy week. We came back from let's call it a workcation. And yeah, it's been interesting trying to get back into the swing of things. There's so much stuff that's like built up. Anyways, let me say hello to everyone who's here today. Is there a few people? There's a few people here already. All right, who do we got? We got Ricky Joe in the house. Thank you. Our JSD rules. It looks like you're leaving. What's going on here? Oh, you're going on a plane. All right, all right. Well, why doesn't that plane have Starlink? That's what I want to know. Our international flight that we flew over to, I think it was Delta. We flew to Europe on. It had Starlink, and it was really pretty good. It was really good. So yeah, some of the flights will have it, and some of them don't. But I think eventually, all the flights, everything is going to have SpaceX Starlink because it's kind of like the de facto at this point. There's not anything better that's currently available. So until they find something, they're just going to have to keep on using SpaceX Starlink. That's just the way it is. Let's see. Like I said, Ricky Joe's here. Thank you for being here. Fragile is in the house. John K. Wolf is sitting in a flood. Texas, man, what the heck happened, guys, with Texas? Just a mess. Absolutely a mess. Horrific. So many people died. It was flash flooding. It was just crazy. That's the way, my daughter lived in Texas, for a bit, and when we would go and visit, I always said it's almost like visiting Mars or something. It's very dry, like really, really dry. So when you get like a ton of water, it's like there's nowhere for the water to go, right? So horrible, horrible. Anyways, who else we got? Renee is in the house. Thank you for being here. Low Tech Greg, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Speed Racer, George is here. John Haresel, thank you for being here. Who else is here? Who else? Steve is in the house. Eric, Mick. If you are kind of hanging out today, throw your name in here or throw like an emoji or something so I can recognize you. I'm glad you're here. Some people have asked me recently, are you like kind of like the same person when you're online, when you're talking like through to a camera as like if you're hanging out in a coffee shop? Yeah, I'm the exact same person. It's no one different. I know there's like a lot of people that find like there's like like a necessity to have some type of altered persona to be online. I just don't get it. It's like the people that will associate with you and kind of frequent your channel and be fans are people that are kind of similar to you. So whatever you put out there is what you kind of bring back in. That's what I found. And now we're at 136,000 people now, which is a couple. It's all that same type of crew, which is really, it's really cool. It's really cool how it kind of works out. Who else is here? Let's see. Speed Racer, thank you for being here. Shannon, I appreciate you. Look at that. Look at that with the super chat. No official echo. Yeah, you know what? Official no echo. So that echo today, hold on, live on the air, no purple hair, super chat. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Shannon. Really appreciate all of your support. Really do. Glad to hear that you got your computer working. That is always good. Whenever there's a problem with the computer, it just puts me on edge. I've been doing, computer stuff for so many years that like it just makes me crazy when stuff isn't working right. Perfect example is with that echo. So that was actually a software echo that I had to figure out why. Whenever you change something, you break something, almost always. When you update, you change this, you want to make this better, and then making this better will make that worse, and then break something else. And that's why, like, when you're in production, a lot of times you'll see, like, let's say, you're working on, like, episodic TV, like I would do, or, you're working on a show, or you're working on even a podcast or whatever. Many times you'll see the gear is, like, old. It's like, why is the gear old? The reason it's old is because it just works. you can get like better gear, but then as soon as you do, you broke something else, and then you got to fix that, and then fix this and fix that. So yeah, but I'm a glutton for punishment, so I constantly try to get the newest, latest, and greatest gear to kind of always up the game. But in so doing, it gets worse sometimes. Sometimes it gets better. I'll give you a perfect example. The microphone that I'm using right now is about $1,000. Okay, it's a Sennheiser 416 or something, right? Very expensive mic. It's a shotgun mic, and they work really good. And the reason I know it's good is because we use it for TV, right? We use it for booming people from 2, 3 feet away, and you have like a guy that's operating, that's running the boom. And they sound really, really nice from a distance. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get that so we can stay out of frame, and I don't have to have something like this, or my RE20, which is electro audio voices. It's very similar. It's the exact same mic that Rush Limbaugh uses. That's what I used to use for radio all the time. And it works great. So yeah, I could have one of these in frame, and the thing is like with this one, this is a USB mic, but for some reason, it really sounds good. And I don't know why. Every once in a while, I have so many mics, I can't even tell you how many mics I have. You'll just find one, you're like, I don't understand. That one sounds really good, and it's like $100. It's not 1,000, it's 100. So that kind of happens sometimes. Same thing holds true with video, I found that when I was on that trip, I was running on a iPhone 16 Pro, and the damn shit looked good. I'm like, what the hell am I doing with like a high-end Canon, like a EOS over here, full blown? Like, why? But what that does is it just shows that the barrier to entry to do any type of video work today is a lot lower. You do need to understand lighting and sound and all the rest of the stuff to be able to get it just right, but just basic, it's just there for you now, which is really kind of cool. Let's see. Let me go from the top. If you have any questions, put in @JCristina. It'll make it easy. Tonight, before I say hello to everyone, I'll probably get into some of the things that we talked about this week. Number one, the whole, the SpaceX Starlink scam thing that I was telling you about with the Norwegian. Some people wanted to know more about that. Just ask me about it, and I'll tell you about it. It's just horrible. Also, I did one on the truth about the Apple's SpaceX Starlink deal. They finally came together. So now, if you are using an iPhone, and you're in an area where there's no connection at all, there's no coverage, before it would send you to, it will say SOS, and you would be using a global star satellite. And that satellite's sitting at like 36,000 kilometers, right? It's a geostationary satellite. It's just slow, it's just horrible, whatever. Now they've put in the ability to use Starlink. And what they've done, which I really like, is so they prioritized it like this. Wi-Fi first, then you have your cell coverage, your local cell coverage. Then after your cell coverage goes and you don't have that anymore, it goes to Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink. And then from SpaceX Starlink, if that also fails, then it fails over to SOS or the Global Star service. So I like that they did that, because they could have just dropped Global Star altogether. They don't really need it, but it just shows how smart Apple is when it comes to this stuff, and they know redundancy is everything. You need to be redundant with everything, right? So if a connection is important to you, you want to have 2 internet service providers and not 1. A perfect example is just last night, 12:30 in the morning a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time, however you want to look at it. SpaceX Starlink went down in, according to what I reported on, 5 states. But a lot of you guys wrote in and said, oh, I'm in Hawaii, I went down too. I'm over here, and I went down too, and over here. And so the 5 that was, let's say, posted over there on a couple of the locations where I go and look to see what's online, what's not, they ended up only showing the 5 states, but it looks like from you guys, it's a lot more. So which is really interesting. And maybe we can talk a little bit about that, because Elon Musk SpaceX Starlink really doesn't need to go down anymore. They need to make sure it stays up. They have them. They got like 8,000 satellites just about now on orbit. Number one. Number two, it is not just a service provider, an ISP that is only for checking out your email and watching Netflix or doing some other just junk like regular ISPs. This SpaceX Starlink is now being used by the military. It's being used by naval. It's being used for planes, trains, right? Buses. It's being used throughout the world, on the tops of mountains to the middle of the ocean. So they really need to make sure they can get that 99.99% uptime. And I don't think that it should be a problem. The issue that happened last night, they did not say what ended up happening. So I was doing some speculation on what I think happened based on what we saw in 2023 in April when they went down due to an SSL certificate, which was just stupid on its face. Any system administrator that screwed that one up, they should have been fired. I don't know if they were or not, but they should have been, because that was just stupid. So anyways, that along with obviously the blackout, like I was telling you, if there's any of this stuff you want to talk about, let me know in the chat and we can talk about them. Whatever is of interest tonight. Once again, at JCristina. It makes it just super, super simple. So what do we got going on here? What do we got going on? John K says we got it coming. Okay, 4 more inches. You got more coming? 4 more inches, John, in Texas, or 6 more inches. Holy hell, half a foot more. That's a lot of rain coming. A lot of rain. Let's see, Renee. What's in the wild world of sports is going on, peeps? Absolutely, absolutely. Remember that, the wild world of sports? Man, that's kind of dating. Let's see. It's 7:30 p.m. Well, time for some bourbon. Thanks, Renee. No bourbon for me. I got a little bit of tea, a little bit of creme in there, and that's it. It's okay. You have your bourbon. Let me know if it's good. I should have some Kraken on Fridays and really light it up here. What do you guys think about this? I was telling Fabiola, obviously she's not here with me tonight. She's extremely tired. She's been working crazy. She just got back. When we came back from the trip, she had to leave again for Orlando, and now she just came back again. So I didn't give her a hard time not being on with us today, but I was saying to her, I'm like, some of you guys out there are really into like the conspiracy stuff and all of the alien stuff and all the space and craziness. I was thinking about doing like a Freaky Friday or something. Maybe we'll do it not next week, but maybe the week after. Next week, I think we might be traveling again. I don't know. We'll have to see. But what do you guys think about that? I think it'd be kind of fun, because there's so many like crazy odd stuff that's just coming to light now that you would just never even guess. I mean, just crazy. Me and Fab were talking about this the other night. It was like 2 or 3 shows ago where we actually were driving down one of these back roads, and this thing that looked like a Dorito. It was literally, it looked like this. It was like a triangle that had some type of propulsion system in each of the 3 corners. So it had like 3 glowing, like, I don't know, fans. I don't even know what the hell they are. They didn't make any noise, and then there was nothing pouring out of it or anything. But anyways, it was like this, and shit was like floating, and it was like taking off, and like coming. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's a damn Dorito flying around, Fab. And he's like, is it a drone? I'm like, it's not a drone. It's like the size of like the studio. It's huge. So yeah, anyways, yeah, this is weird stuff. Just weird stuff. It's got to be like military that they're working on or something, or just damn aliens. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it'd be kind of fun. It'd be fun. Let me see. What else do we have here? Good afternoon. Yes, we got more of the rain over there in Texas. Yuck. Aloha. Yes, that's George. Thank you for being here. Moving on. Speed Racer says, was Starlink better on the plane than it was on the cruise ship? That's a good question, Speed Racer. So yes. There's less people on the plane. Obviously, there's 4,000 people on the cruise ship, 4,070 to be exact. But on the plane, you're getting a few hundred, so it's not that big of a deal. Speeds were amazing on the plane. But on the cruise ship, it's not even that there were so many people on board using it, because there was, but even when everyone was off the cruise, because we've pulled into, dock somewhere, and now everyone's getting off for the day, like maybe we're pulling into, Rome, or we're pulling into Mykonos, or Athens, or wherever, and we would get off the ship. And if we would get on the ship early, there's like no one on the damn ship, right? You can go into the food area, there's no one there, right? So there's not a lot of people. You still go onto your Wi-Fi, and you see that you get 1 meg. And that's because it's so throttled. They don't care if there's a lot of people there or not. The cruise line throttled the absolute just holy hell out of it, and charged. We ended up paying like $600, I think it was, total, because it was like $399 for their super duper package that gives you 1 meg up. But then to be able to authenticate 2 devices, right, my phone and my laptop simultaneously, to do 2-step authentication, you have to do that, right? It was another $20, $19.99 per day for 10 days, so another 200. So it ended up totaling about, it was about $600 for the worst absolute shit Wi-Fi service I've ever had, ever, on any cruise. And there was cruises that didn't even have SpaceX Starlink that had better speeds. You have, obviously you paid up on them, but it was like the same price I paid, but I actually got better speeds. Horrible latency, obviously, because they're geo stationary satellites. But yeah, I mean, it was really horrendous. But on the plane, speeds were unbelievable. Yeah, on the plane, it's just like you're working at home type of thing. Unbelievable. Perfect. Let's see. What is the tea of the day, Skyline? So today, tonight we have Fireside. If you don't know what Fireside is, they use Lapsang tea. Everything that I do, all my teas are organic, non-radiated, non-GM, no, just clean tea. And if one of the ingredients, I don't care what the ingredient is, it could be cinnamon, or it could be, whatever it is. Every single ingredient that I get is non-radiated. It's absolute pristine. It's all organic stuff. And if I can't get it, then I won't make that specific tea for that week or whatever. So sometimes people will order teas and they won't get it for a couple of weeks, and the reason being is there's something in there that, and I won't get something else, right? And be like, oh yeah, it's okay. No, it's not okay. So it's going to be all great, or I'm not going to do it at all, right? So anyways, yeah. So this has Lapsang in it, and Lapsang is a black tea, and what they do is they dry the tea. Instead of drying it like in the sun, or drying it, by some type of oven means, or drying it outside, they dry it on top of smoldering pine. So the black tea gets this really smoky, rich goodness to it. So yeah, if you ever try any of my Fireside tea, if you like smoky stuff, like you're just sitting there having a cup of tea next to a fire, that's what it tastes like. It's unbelievable. But if you don't like smoky stuff, then don't get it at all, because it is really smoky. So anyways, yeah, that's Fireside for today. Let's see. John says, what funny, I didn't lose my Starlink connection last night, and I had an update last night. That's kind of cool. You got an update and you didn't lose your connection. And yeah, so about the whole connection thing, before I go into more of these questions, keep those questions coming, and I'm going to get to them. Don't worry. I'm going to slowly go through them. A lot of people want to know about this whole, this outage that happened in 2023 in April. An outage happened where they didn't pay for an SSL certificate, which is your like HTTPS, right? Secure. Let's just call it, if maybe you understand that, then what an SSL certificate is. But either way, it's a means for them to communicate back and forth, server to server, but doing it authenticating each other. So they couldn't authenticate each other, and it ended up bringing the whole system down. And SpaceX Starlink was down for hours and hours and hours. It was really, really bad. The alerts didn't go off like they should have, and all kinds of other crazy ass crap. Anyways, so a lot of people this time said the same thing. Oh, it must be SSL certificates. Maybe they didn't do, maybe they didn't pay again, or something happened, something like that. And I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Fool fool me once, you know. It's so. Anyways, I don't think that's what it is. But what I do think, why is there this fly flying around here? What I do think is that it is definitely something that has to do with an update. Because when I looked at that diagram of the entire United States and where there were outages, it's really telling because each one of the outages is in like a location that has like a major backbone. So what I think happened, and I could be wrong, and maybe they've already said it already, and I missed it tonight, but I didn't hear anything as of yet. And I think what they were doing is they were rolling out some type of update, and they probably started out in the West, and they were going to start rolling it across the U.S. And they got like to Texas, Illinois, some right about halfway, and then they stopped. And then I feel like they had to revert back to let's say it's a firmware update. I don't know what it was, and then they had to go and revert to the old firmware update. And when you do that, you have to then reboot the servers and they all have to get back linked up. And it takes about 20, 30, sometimes an hour to do that. It depends on how big of an update it is. So that's what it feels like. Do I know that happened? No. But that's what it feels like. Some people said, oh, maybe it's Russia, maybe it's China, they got hacked or whatever. I'm like, nah. I just don't see it, considering Russia's been trying to hack them in the Ukraine for years now, right? Forever. And the Chinese have been trying to hack SpaceX Starlink also ever since then. They haven't got in yet. So I seriously doubt that was an issue. I do think it's probably just user error. Someone screwed up on the back end, and they started rolling out a patch, and the patch didn't work, and they had to roll it back. Because that's the kind of stuff that, as a system administrator, when I used to work, sometimes I would work out of like the IBM building up the road in Boca Raton. And, when you do any type of updates, you always do them at about midnight to about 3 a.m. And that's when you have the least amount of traffic on the servers, right? So if it's a big update, you're going to start it at midnight. You're going to finish it about 3 a.m. If it's a small update, then you're going to do like maybe 2, 3 o'clock, get it done. Everything is copacetic by morning. Everything is good. So when I see that everything goes down at 12:30, right? Exactly. That is telling to me. And then it comes back online at 1:36. Very telling, in my personal opinion. That just feels very much so like something that they planned on doing, but they didn't know that it was going to go south. So that's what I think. Is that what happened? I really don't know. And maybe we will. Maybe you guys know. Maybe they already said something. I just didn't see it. So let me know. Let me see. Welsh Farms, how are you guys doing over there, Welsh Sun Farms? What do we got here? Speaking of Starlink, I heard a guy named Shannon was trying to get you to take, would replace them. Yeah, so just it's a damage to many. Yeah, so just so you know, the whole thing with Shannon and sending that, offering the mini, let me just say, very grateful. But now thinking about it, I'm glad that I didn't take it and then go and have it confiscated, because after speaking with them, that's exactly what they were doing. So if you brought a SpaceX Starlink Mini on board, they would see it, they would confiscate it, and then they would give it back to you when you get off 10 days later or whatever it is, which I think is just wrong. I think it's wrong, because if I'm going to go on an excursion and I'm going to go climb a mountain someplace, right? There's a lot of mountains, especially off all the islands of Greece. Some are volcanic, very mountainous. But anyways, if I do that, I wouldn't bring why can't I bring my SpaceX Mini? But if they confiscate it, I can't, right? So they need to fix that. There needs to be some type of rule or something put in place, so if you are on a ship, you can take your SpaceX Starlink Mini with you, and then maybe take it out of jail when you get off the ship, every day at a different location or some shit. They need to figure it out, because it's not fair to people. It really isn't. They make enough money. They make enough money. And when I did the math on the amount of money that they made, and I was very, 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 I did not push it at all. I ended up coming in really, really low on a lot of the numbers. I figured they were making right around $1.27 million just for those 10 days on SpaceX Starlink. And that is really underselling it, because a lot of the extra devices at $20 per day for every single extra device, there's a ton of extra devices. You have 3 kids and each one of the kids has like an iPad or something. Every one of those is a device. That's 20 and 20 and 20 and 20 times 10. You follow me? You're talking a lot of money. These people making just ass loads of money. All right, and they're nasty about it too, and that's what really kind of pisses me off. But anyways, and that's just Norwegian is the one that we were on, but I'm sure the other cruise lines do the same stupidity. It's not just them. It's not just them. Anyways, moving on, I'm going to go through some of these things. I have to say thank you to Shannon. 20 free memberships from Shannon. Thank you so much. If you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you. Shannon, thank you for all of your support, as always. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I'm going to go through some questions real quick, and then I'll do the gabbing. As I always do, Eric says, Glenn Beck owns the original mic from where Tokyo Rose broadcasts, and then really in WW2. That's crazy. See, that I love mics. I love band. I love mics. My favorite mic is the RE20, the Electro Voice RE20, the same one that Rush Limbaugh used to use, but he had it gold plated. I don't have mine gold plated. Obviously, I don't have that kind of dough, but I love it because I love the sound of it. It's very radio, very radio. And that's what I used to use when Trevor Current and myself used to do a lot of coverage, going place to place to place and broadcasting live, doing interviews with all the movers and shakers and all the CEOs of all the different camera companies and video companies and all the rest of the stuff. We did that for years and years, basically traveling from Las Vegas. We do MGM Grand a lot, and then we would go to the Javits Center all the way up in New York, Manhattan, and then we would go, so it was like that type of thing. So wherever there was like the hot things going on. Let me see. Moving down here, let me see. Question. Eric says, when Starlink for cell phones become mainstream, do you see that making cruise ships and passengers jet Starlink obsolete? So, yes. Well, the problem is if you have your phone, right, and you're on a cruise, inside the cruise, this isn't going to work anyways, right? Because you don't have access to any satellites, right? You're inside, okay? So that's not going to work. You still need to have something, right? So that's not going to work. But if you are outside, absolutely. Obsolete? No, but I do believe that SpaceX Starlink will extremely hurt a lot of the big carriers, the AT&T, the T-Mobiles, the Verizons, all the rest of them, because there will be a time. I mean, we know before the end of this year, you'll be able to do not only just texting, you'll also be able to do like voice. Like voice memos, send those, and also pictures, like small pictures you'll be able to send. So we're getting close to that data usage. And then in 2026, that's when we're going to see the actual phone call. We're going to make a phone call, and then we'll also be able to do some video calling here and there, some lightweight video, right? They'll probably just smash the hell out of it. So, it's like 240 or maybe 320p, something really small, but who cares? You'd be using a satellite, and you could be in the middle of a mountain someplace or in the middle of the ocean and be able to use that. So it'd be like a sat phone that you would used to pay for a satellite phone, but on crack. So, and it wouldn't cost you anything extra besides your regular coverage, which is really sick. And now, guys, not just T-Mobile has it. If you are on Verizon or if you're on another carrier, AT&T or whoever, I believe if you ask your carrier, you could pay like $10 extra a month and get SpaceX Starlink as the emergency backup, instead of just using if you have an iPhone, instead of using their garbage. Global Star, which is just pretty much junk. So that's kind of neat. I like that. That's really kind of cool. Let me see who else is here. Buster and Phil's from Florida. Beautiful water of the Gulf of Mexico. It is now Gulf of America. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Peter. Peter, how you doing, Peter? Peter's here. Hi, JC. Um, is it me or is there an echo like his video today? I don't know. You tell me. Is there an echo today? Do you have any echo? I know there was an echo in this today's video for sure, and that I found out what it was. It was a software issue, and I think I cleared it up. So you let me know if there's an echo or not. Everyone at the beginning said that there wasn't, but who knows? Let me see. I love it. Pierre says, good job waiting for Amazon Kuiper. Yep, everyone just keep waiting for Amazon Kuiper, and we'll see, you know, Jeff Bozo over there put that out there soon. I think Jeff is up to 57 satellites now, compared to Elon Musk at 8,000, but that's okay. He's getting there. Remember, Jeff needs to get to 50% of his, what is it, 3,200. So he needs to get to, you know, what is it, 12, so it's 16, I think it's 16 and change. Let's just call it 1,600 satellites before next year. If he gets to even 1/4 of that, it'll be a lot. So he's going to have to request for an extension. If not, he's going to lose his license, and that's it. So we'll see what happens with that. They're not going to be able to launch that number of satellites. I mean, like I said, they're up to 57. Months are going by. I would say, what are we in now? So we got August, September, October, November, December, 5 months, 5. If they do 120, let's say, if he got an extra 100 to 120 up there, so maybe by the end of the year, he would have 150 to 160 on orbit. That's still not enough for Jeff Bezos and Project Kuiper to go live with anything. I did some numbers because that's what I do, because I'm a geek. And I think I came up with like 600 or 750 or some satellites that he needs on orbit that are operational, that will give him approximately 75 to 85% uptime. But even at that, who out there wants to have a service that is going to be down 10 to 15% of the time? Nobody, right? So it's not even sellable, even with those numbers. So that's why I predicted 2027. You know, 2027, I think, will be like the earliest we would see anything from Jeff. But in my personal opinion, Project Kuiper will end up being disbanded before it goes live. I don't think that he'll end up going through with it. I really don't. And the satellites that he's going up there, he'll probably just sell them to the government. Let them use them for something or whatever. I just don't see it, because remember his company, his launch company, right? His rocket company is doing nothing. When I say nothing, I mean haven't put a single satellite on orbit for Jeff, so that's out. You got ULA, which is United Launch Alliance, is the only one that has put anything up for Jeff. You got Ariane Space and all. No one's doing anything. No one has a rocket that can actually work. Now, supposedly Jeff does have a contract with SpaceX, with Elon, but he ain't going to use that. That's like his get out of jail, free card. That's like if everything just goes complete belly up, just ass backwards, he'd be like, Elon, listen, I need a ride share. I need to get 500 satellites up there. What can you do for me? And Elon would be, he would just laugh and he would do it, right? Because that's how he is. He don't give a shit. He really doesn't. He doesn't. And he would put him up there. So, but for Jeff to, take that chip off his shoulder and ask him to do it, I think is just that he'll be hard pressed for it to happen. I mean, shit, he had to have the board of directors threaten to sue him if he didn't put a contract together with Elon and SpaceX. I mean, think about that, because he's just dragging his feet for so damn long. Anyways, Mick says Global Star is awful. Yes, it is. It's complete shites. I used to use a spot GPS, which used Global Star. Really? Okay. We had an emergency while up in one of the mountains in Colorado. Very spotty reception, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just to get service. Remember, what he's talking about with Globalstar. Globalstar is the company that Apple uses for their SOS service. And the thing is there's not many satellites. Number one, it's like far and few of them. They don't have a lot of bandwidth, and also they don't have that. Their latency is crazy. So sometimes you could be in SOS area, but you can't have a satellite nearby for like 5 minutes or something. It's not emergency. It's not like timely emergency service, right? It's like an ambulance is coming, but they have to stop, and get gas, and then they have to get donuts, and then they have to eat at least one donut before they start going to come pick you up. It's like, no, that's not what an emergency is. Emergency is like freaking now, yesterday. Get it done like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, just like you said, Globalstar is just shite, and that's why Apple said, "Listen, we need to get Elon on board. We just can't, they don't like him either. I mean, how it is. Elon's one of those polarizing guys. You either love him or you hate him. That's just there's no like guy that says, yeah, I kind of like him. He's kind of all right. It's either I love him, he's awesome, or this guy is like Satan, and we want to burn all of his cars to the ground. These people are whack. Whack. I don't know. Just watch TV, right? If you don't go, you don't have to go to a movie. Just watch the news. People are just crazy. People just lost their shit. I don't even know. Back for more. Let's see. Brandon said, "Thank you for being here, Florida, here on the Gulf of America." Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. PoE cameras, but some reason. Oh, okay. This is John talking about the 3 PoE cameras. Power did not get any data. I didn't check for the cable. Yeah, usually if you have a PoE camera, but if you guys don't know, a PoE camera is basically power over Ethernet. So you don't only get data, but you're getting power on the same cable. So if you're getting powered to those cameras, but you're not getting data, you could end up having a bad cable. That's possible. So I would swap out your cables first. If it's not a cable problem, then it's most likely a camera's like gone bad or your receiver is screwed. So check the cables first. Cables are the first one. They're notorious to go bad, especially in like severe weather and a lot of those PoE cables will go bad. Let's see, George. How you doing, George? Always says, there is a reason. Let's see. Stevie Ray made an album called Texas Flood. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe how much water they've gotten in Texas. It's crazy. Where do you get the huge tea mug? That's from Joseph. This is a pretty big one, right? I bought this I think it was on, I want to say like Amazon, like many years ago. Usually I had a logo here, right, which was like a teacup for the Digital Photography Cafe show. Actually, yeah. Matter of fact, on that monitor back there still is a logo of that. Anyways, but yeah, I think I got it on Amazon. They are big. They are big. I think they're like 12 ounce. I don't know. They're not like even 10. It's a big mug. But yeah, I like them. I like them. Let me see. Eric says there's a video channel by the name of the Y-Files. He talks about some interesting stuff, including aliens. I like that, Eric. That's cool. Like I said, I think it would be kind of fun, right? We do like a Freaky Friday or some kind of Alien Friday and just talk about this kind of stuff, because I feel like there's a lot of you guys out there that are like into the alien stuff and into all of this conspiracy things that go on a regular basis. Because whenever I talk about them, people are like, they get all into it and stuff. So I like it, Doesn't mean that they're all correct, but it doesn't matter. I feel like, today is a day where, years ago, there would be like conspiracies that would happen, and people were like, oh no, that can never happen. Now, since we're in like this data age, like nothing gets hidden anymore, right? If something is out there, there's someone like taking a picture already. Someone's got like, someone just fell and bust their head. Someone's taking a picture. Don't help them up off the ground, but start photographing them, right? That's just how it is. So it's like nothing gets by people anymore. So, you do have the ignorant people that, they can't put one and one together. That's just, that's just the way it is, sadly. But yeah, now it's like what used to be you know, like just conspiracies. Now all of a sudden it's like conspirafacts. Literally a year or two down the road, all of a sudden what was said is completely false. Now all of a sudden it's true. I mean, I can't even tell you guys how many different things I had to learn in school when I was going to school, you know, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? And then they became like fiction. It was like you would learn that this was a specific thing, and then literally 10, 15 years later it'd be like, no, it's not. And then you would learn this, and then all of a sudden, no, it's not. And I feel like this is starting to progress even faster now. So like, you know, like I remember like with the whole COVID times, right? Like there were certain things like you couldn't talk about. Like this doesn't work. This is like, you know, X, Y, and Z. And then all of a sudden, like what, 3, 4 years later, they're like, oh, well, that was actually kind of right. That was right. It wasn't actually, you know, fictitious. It was truth, you know. So that this is what kind of happens. That it's so much faster though in comparison to when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, it'd take a decade before all of a sudden things you learned ended up being false, right? Now all of a sudden it's like within a year or two, it's like, oh yeah, whatever they taught you there, yeah, that was wrong. That was completely wrong. So I don't even know. Like if you're a teacher today, what do you teach? Kind of crazy. Definitely kind of crazy. What they need to teach is teach the kids how to learn instead of teaching them just facts that end up being fallacies in not so distant future. So that would be kind of nice, right? Let's see. Nice job, Shannon. But I am missing the lover kick. There you go. Thank you for that. I got kicks and bananas. Always love that. Let's see. Alfonso says Elon should make it so that all Starlink customers have access to emergency cell service, regardless of carrier or country. Do you think that this could be done? Absolutely, it could be done. He could make it. He's done it before. Matter of fact, when we got hit with the hurricane here, and only T-Mobile had that service. Okay, Fabiola and myself got hit with the hurricane here. Power was out, and then it came back in. We did the show, and while on the show, I was texting with satellite service with AT&T because Elon requested that I think it was the FCC opened it up, and they did. So all carriers were able to use SpaceX Starlink during that hurricane time, like a week or two in this area of the South where we got hit. So yeah, they can do it. They can do it. The reason they don't is because of moolah, and you know the FCC does their own thing. They don't, you know, unless it's an emergency thing, then they'll do it. But if not, they won't. So, but can it be done? Absolutely. Low Tech Greg says, I like it. Free Speech Friday and Freaky Friday, aliens and conspiracies. I like it. We're going to have to do that. Let's see. Life and Death says, authentication, which has been defeated like two-step. Absolutely, it's true. Is gas-living customers. No, it's true. Two-step authentication can be circumvented. Absolutely. There's always a means of circumventing, but they still use it. And I tell people, like, if you have a YouTube channel, do two-step, even though it just makes it a little bit harder. You know, is there other things you can do? Yes, there is. But do as much as you can, because people are constantly trying to take. Because people don't want to work anymore. They just want to steal at this point, right? They're lazy. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. At JCristina before your question. Makes it easy to find here. Mick says, do you take a travel router with you? I always travel with one. So I did not take a travel router with me. Will I in the future? Probably. The reason I didn't is because after speaking to the people at Norwegian, I was under the understanding, after speaking to the rep as well as the manager, that the service that I was buying for my $600 now was enough. I would be able to do everything that I needed to do. If I thought that they were lying or didn't know their ass from their elbow, I would have brought a travel router. You know, I do this kind of shit, right? So I could have literally brought something like this and circumvented a lot of the two-step, saved myself $200, you know, this kind of shit. So I might I might write like a white paper or something. I might write something like a PDF or something. I don't know, and teach people how to do it. Um, I don't want to make something and sell it because of the legalities behind it, because then they'll come back and be like, "Oh, you know, you're putting out product that can circumvent our system." So, I don't know. I'm thinking about possibly putting together like a white paper or something. Maybe like a PDF document. Maybe I'll sell it for $5 or something, just to, you know, just a couple of dollars for my time. But I think it will help people a lot. It doesn't matter if you're on a cruise or somewhere else that really locks down a system, because this system that they had on Norwegian was really freaking locked down. I mean, really locked down. Now, could I have gotten into it? Yes, because there was a couple of openings that I found, but I didn't want to sit there. I got other shit to do than sit and hack around on their system. But yes, there was a couple of openings that would allow me to get into it. But honestly, they really, really locked it down. I mean, I even said that, you know, I used to play a game, I still do, for like probably 10, 15 years. It's called Clash Royale, right? And it's just like one of those little games, like, you know, you're just hanging out, you know, and waiting on a plane or something, you just play the game. That game didn't even work. I mean, you know, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, any of this stuff, they don't even work. It is so plugged. They have so many ports just shut down. So many. They are doing they're doing deep analysis, packet level analysis of what's going on. So they know, like, if you're using a VPN, they know, you know, you have to do certain things to be able to use a VPN without getting caught. And you have to use certain VPN services that allow you to do these things. And I can get into it all, you know, it's a long topic. But anyways, so I'm thinking about doing that. If you think I should do that, I will. And maybe it'll help some people out, you know. So maybe I'll do something like that. But no, I did not bring a travel router, and that's one of the reasons why, because I didn't think I needed it. Stupid of me, right? Stupid. Tim says on a cruise ship they also ban travel routers. They do. To get past, pay for each device by creating your own little network. Yes, so they do ban travel routers too on cruise ships. So you have to disguise them as something else. And you got to remember, your bags are going through X-ray. So if they look at something like, yep, that's a router, they're going to pull it. You know, they know what the, you know, they know what the Mini looks like. Okay, so as soon as they see a Mini, that thing gets yanked. So there's only so much you can do, right? But anyways, Carl says hello. Thank you so much for being here, Carl. Appreciate you. Let's see. Moving down, Buster and Phil. Look at that. Number 3 crown for you. I love that. I love all the crowns now. It just shows like who like does a lot of discussion on the on the channel, which is really, really cool. So if you have a crown next to your name with like a number, it just shows kind of like you're up here. You're elite. Let's see. Jason Ford says new mesh net all speed hookup. Nice. Echo, echo, echo. So is there an echo, guys? It says there is an echo, and there was one on the last video. Okay, so as of right now, all right, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Echo yes, echo no. Is there an echo? Yes or no? Let me know. Let me know. Echo yes or no. There was like some software thing that was going on, so you let me know if there's an echo. You tell me. You tell me. I'm just looking to see if anything pops up here. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Echo yes. It says really faint echo. Okay. And then someone says echo no, and then no echo. More reverb now. Interesting. I love that. Huh. I don't know. So yeah, we'll have to go through it, see what's what. Shannon, thank you so much for the 10 free memberships. Guys, if you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you. Tom, who else we got here? Michelle, Jim, let's see, videos, Fat Boy, Alex got a free membership. Shadow Dragon, Adam80 got a free membership, and Jarrett. Say thank you to Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. Really appreciate it. That is very, very, very helpful. Um, let's see. Moving on here. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. At JCristina. It makes it really easy. If you're new here, put like an emoji or something so I can recognize you, so I can see that you're here. Stop stalking. Okay? Get in there. Say something. Say hello. Oh man, I'm going to write a book. Mastering the art of talking to yourself. What do you guys think? Is this what I do, right? I'm talking to like this little black hole, but I know there's, 100 of you or more listening. I don't know. So yeah, there is definitely an art to sit there and just talk to yourself aimlessly. Um, let's see. Moving on. Um, let's see here. SpaceX has 2 object launches in January. Okay, in July, including one next week. Yes, they have a bunch. They have a lot going on. Bad feedback echo still, Jay Wolf says. Okay, all right. So we'll have to work on that. Obviously, to work on it on air, that's not gonna work. But off air, I'll have to do some recordings and see where that echo is coming from. I have a feeling it's coming from audio hijack or loopback. Audio hijack or loopback. It's one of the two, is what I'm thinking. And it's like, I don't want to go and kill something now while we're talking, and then all of a sudden I'm gone, you can't hear me anymore. I guess I could. Can always fix it, possibly. Let me see. I'm going to turn this off. All right. Are we still... Looks like there's still something going on there. We will leave that. And I'm going to go into audio hijack. And let me go and hit stop on it and see. Okay, here we go. So there it is, gone. Now, we have none of the software running right now. Let me know if the echo goes away. I never do this because it's so easy to break things. So let me know if I broke it. If you can still hear me, give me like a thumbs up or something. Let me know if there's still echo or anything changed. So we got no software running at all. Let's see. Moving on here. I love the pink poops. Thank you. Welsh and Sun Farms. Elon says, sorry, I'm not available until 2029. Exactly. I don't think that, I really don't think that Jeff Bezos will ask Elon for any type of ride share, for a while. I just don't. I think he'll keep delaying, and eventually just give up. It's just, that's just not in his nature. He's just not going to do it. He's just not going to do it, guys. Which if someone has like any equity in the company is probably going to be upset, but that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. Billionaires, they have like very big chips, and to knock them off, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Let's see. Shannon's the bomb. There's Mo. Mo, how you doing? Thank you for being here, Mo. Mo, it might be your week. Maybe not next week, but maybe the next. Like a Freaky Friday, some kind of crazy ass alien crazy Friday, right? We could talk all kinds of goodness, stuff that I quite enjoy. What do you think, Mo? What do you think? That'd be a good Friday. Brad says, yes, Glenn. He has a mic issue. Yeah, mic issue. Yeah, so let me go down here. Is it still echoing? Guys, down here? Put a comment. Echo, do you hear an echo? Or is there no echo? Echo, no echo. Echo, no echo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Let me know. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Andy says no echo. Thank you. And then we got Tim saying still distorted. It could be distorted because I'm too loud. Here, let me pull me down a little bit. So there we go. We turned the volume down a little bit. Maybe that will help. Or maybe it'll just make me too quiet. I don't know. Let me know. This distortion sometimes happens when you're just, when you start pushing that envelope at the top end and there's no data left. So maybe that helps. So what do we got here? Echo, 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 no echo. What the hell is going on? Why is some people saying echo and some people saying no echo? No echo, no echo, no echo. Then we got one echo and then a bunch of no echoes. What the frick? Oh man, I'm gonna end up having just like I'm gonna have to record and then go and listen to it. I don't know. I don't know. Damn software. Always something. Always something. Let me see. Chad says, what if you need to connect to work over a VPN? Chad, that's a great question. I rose that, I brought that up during the video that I did, that I talked about the Norwegian cruise and their crap ass internet. And one of the problems that a lot of people that I spoke to had was that they needed to tunnel out, or create a tunnel, a VPN with their work. Okay, that's just how it works. Pardon the pun. So the problem is they have these things shut down. So there was many people had their laptops that they couldn't even get into work because it was shut down. They couldn't VPN. And even if it wasn't like a Nord or a pure VPN or whatever, some companies use their own VPNs, right? They just simply get a colo somewhere, like co-located server, and they'll install like a VPN software on it, and then they'll have their own means of tunneling. Let's just call it very securely between their computer or the laptop and the main computer that's at work. The way they had it set up, a lot of people couldn't even do it. I mean, they could not even do it. So, yeah, it's a problem. I had some people say, "Listen, Joe, you're on a cruise. Put your electronics away. You're on a cruise. Just have fun. Just relax." And the thing is, unless you're retired, many people, they go on workations where they're, even though on vacation, they will work simultaneously. Maybe they'll go on excursions during the day, but then at night they might get on the phone, they might start doing emails or start processing stuff or doing whatever they do to make a living. So they're actually still having fun during the day, but then they actually work at night. So yes, it's easy to say, oh, you're on a cruise, just don't do anything. I mean, if you have that luxury, you can. But the problem is not a lot of people do. And even the people that have the luxury, they don't want the luxury because they still want to be able to get involved with the work that they do regardless. So, it's something to think about. And I talked to one person, they said, I will not do the cruise thing again. I will fly into the location and I'll get like an Airbnb, or I'll get a hotel, and then I'll go and see that area for a week and then fly out. And then the next time we'll fly into another, let's say an island. Maybe we'll fly into Mykonos, one week, and then another week we'll fly into Athens. Another week we'll hit Santorini. Whatever it is. So I don't blame them. I was very, very disappointed in what the cruise lines offer today in comparison to yesterday. It used to be like you go onto a cruise to get fat. You know what I mean? You just eat and eat and eat and drink and drink and drink. And now it's like, I mean, I was hard pressed to find freaking protein that wasn't just gross and fat. I don't like fats, and it's like, so like even the food was nothing to write home about, where you would think in a cruise it would be, right? Well, no, not really, not really. So kind of is what it is. Let's see here. I play a game. I play a game with your tea. When your videos start, when you start a video, I watch your attitude. I like that. I guess which tea that you're drinking, and I'm right about 95% of the time. I love it. Just from Demunder. I love that. Yeah. So tonight, did you guess? I got Fireside. Did you guess? Mo says no buffering. There's absolutely no buffering. That's good. Yeah, we definitely, we're sitting on like 7 megabits up right now. We can actually push it much further if we wanted to, but 7 is enough. We're good enough. I got too many wrinkles to get any more than 4K up there. Let's see. Check back plane on your router. Yeah, it might be known. Yeah. That whenever you bring in a router, you're gonna have to smuggle it in. That's just how it is. Wouldn't mind some underhanded, yeah, that would be kind of nice. Yeah, Moving on. If you have a question, put at JCristina before your question. It makes it easier. The communist cruise ship. Yes, Mo. It is definitely a communist cruise ship. Welsh and Sun Farm says if they add 12 million email servers, the price of the boat would be $9.90. Yeah, basically. I think this boat too had like anywhere from like 16 to 20 SpaceX Starlinks on board. So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. You're talking about gigabit just on upload alone. So yeah, they made a ton. That's it. John says I replaced the PoE power switch. I have a smart device, so I think my TP-Link router might be overloaded. It could be. It's possible. Remember, they can only power so much. Some people will put too much power. Also, on some of those routers, certain ports have PoE power, power over Ethernet built into them. Some ports do not. So make sure that you're on the right port. Okay, that's that. Some people will switch their ports and they're like, "Hey, I got no more power. What's going on?" It's because the port that you're using doesn't have power. So check into that. They don't always all have power. If you need to connect to work over VPN, yes, that's Chad. Yeah, you just can't do it. It's a problem. It's what it is. It's a big ass problem. Let's see. Moving down here. Moving down. George says, pull the mic closer and turn down the input 3 decibels. It sounds like room noise to me. Does it? Okay. Room noise. Let's see. Let's do a silent. All right. Silence, we're seeing about negative 52 dB. There shouldn't be a lot of room noise there. So there's something else going on. When there's no talking going on, negative 15, negative 50 dB is just about silent. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll look at it. I'll do some recordings. Let's see. What else we got here? Low Tech Greg says no echo. Sounds still. The sound's still funky. All right, so it still sounds funky. I'll look into it for sure. And then Chad says echo yes. It's still a faint, more like reverb. All right, more like reverb. It's got to be picking something else up. I don't know. We will have to look into it. It's not an echo. It's like a double audio, but it's so closely timed to the actual audio that it's kind of gives you like a robot sound. Yeah, I was seeing that. I did some tests where I would snap like that, and then I would go and take a look at the waveform, and you'll see like 2 snaps. You'll see a snap within about 2 milliseconds of the other snap, one a little bit bigger than the other. So yes, it was kind of like a doubling that was going on. It's something with the software. Something updated and something just went crazy. So we'll have to look at it. We'll find out. I will definitely dig into it and see what the story is. Let's see. Shannon says, official, no echo. Never was super chat. Yeah, thank you, Shannon, for the super chat. Look at that. Shannon's got the big #1 crown on there. Do you love that? Man, that's awesome. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. That's always helpful. Always appreciated and very much so helpful. Life and Death says, forget about the echo. Focus. Just focus, damn it. Focus. Peter Manson. Let's see. It says, Mo, I'm trying to sleep and listen to JC. I'm trying to. Yeah. Don't. You know what? If you're like my wife, you just listen to me talk and she just like falls asleep. Sometimes you'll be like, Joe, like, so what'd you do today? Tell me about some tech stupid ass shit that you did. And I'll tell her about it and she'll be gone. I'm like, hello? Are you there? I mean, hell, I was live on the on the trip. We were like going from one Greek island to the next, and it was at night. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and we went live, and I went live, and Fab was behind me, and I was talking to her, and literally she was gone as I was talking. I'm like, hello? What the hell happened? You're gone. That's why you guys didn't see her while we were on the cruise. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Chad says, I will have to try to set up an SSTP VPN server for 443. You can do that, absolutely, just to test, see if you can go on a cruise. It's possible. I agree that be able to enjoy the fun. So, yeah, I do. You know, I like to be able to enjoy the fun, but also have the ability to see what the hell is going on. Like stay abreast with stuff. Answer emails, talk to you guys. For me, I'm putting up content, so even on the cruise, I was putting up content, and then I was uploading like 400 megs at like 1 megabit per second. It's like 5, 7 hours later to upload a video. It's just, oh my God. I got 10 videos up while we were on the cruise. That was just crazy. I don't even know. I actually had to work hard to try to get that to happen. That was not easy. Definitely not easy. Let's see. Life and Death says the first time I went offshore on a 4-day race, I told her, said that it could reach me via marine radio call. It's about $6 a minute. Holy hell. Yep. That's it. That's it. They're very, very expensive. Very expensive. Remember, like all those remember all the SAT calls, like a real SAT call. I'm not talking about Elon Musk, SpaceX, but a real SAT call. They were expensive. The device was expensive. The calls were expensive. Everything was expensive. Let's see. Anino Sands says, do you know any decent alternatives to After Effects for Linux? Yeah, I mean, like After Effects, like for me, I use DaVinci Resolve, and it works out really, really good. And the thing that's really nice with DaVinci is it has like everything built into it. Okay, so check into DaVinci Resolve. It's free, so you can download it, you can test it. I use it daily on Linux, and it's better than DaVinci Resolve on a PC or on the Mac. Just to give you an idea. On Linux, it's just smoking fast. Really, really good. So definitely check out DaVinci. Let's see. Please return, give Peter and message Monkey Ranch. Yeah. Yes, do that, Mo. If you have any questions, add that queue. Yep, you can add a queue or just add JCristina, either which way. Just before you end the stream, you do a clapboard or clap to isolate the small room sound echo. You can always do that. Could do that. Try to get that isolation. See where that echo is. The echo that we were having today, like on the video, had nothing to do with the room. It was a problem with the software. It was a double feed using loopback or hijack audio. Right now I have them both off, so it should not be echoing, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Jada Motor says, Joe is Max Headroom. I love that. I actually did some shorts like Max Headroom. I had a lot of fun with those. Take a look at my shorts on my JCristina on the channel. If you go to youtube.com/JCristina and then go to shorts, take a look at them and you'll see like some of me doing like a Max Headroom with that whole thing. That was it was definitely fun. John says, go back to the iPhone. Exactly. Just screw all of this junk, right? Just go iPhone and that's it. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea. Let's see. John says, is mic out of phase? It does sound overmodulated. Yeah, it could be. It really could be. And I just, the thing is I didn't change anything, but that doesn't mean anything, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna have to just dive into it and see exactly what is going on, but I'll get to it. Just no worries. We'll do it. Renee says electrical interference, microwave ovens, phones close to equipment. Yeah, no, none of that. Everything is the same. It's a software issue, and we'll find it. We're all imagining the echo as either a bunch of So yeah, Mo, we're having like an echo talk instead. Hey, listen. So, like I said before, with this blackout, guys, I want to know before anyone leaves tonight. Did you get this blackout last night at 12:30 when everything went dead at 12 o'clock? If you lost signal between 12 a.m. and 1:36 a.m. yesterday, in the chat, let me know and put in there what state and what city, because I found some people. I, my list of originally 5 that I said in my video has now expanded to like 10 or 20 different states. So that means that there's a lot more to it than what we originally thought. So whatever that's worth. Um, let's see. Tim says, we're all nerds here. Absolutely. And all focusing on fixing the issue. I appreciate that, Tim. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I was just thinking for a second. I love all these little spaceships. These spaceships are awesome. Mo, this is John K. Wolf. I love those little spaceships. Those are the cutest. Little flying saucers with the alien guys. I love it. Do 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 do. Mo, do 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 do. Oh man. Hi Garage says, love your content from Austria. So listen, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and watching the content. Been putting this together for many, many years now. I mean, just the SpaceX Starlink stuff I've been doing for just over 4 years now, I think. I love it, you know. I know some people out there are like, oh, he's a shill for Elon, you know, he probably gets paid. You know, I can tell you, you know, without, on a lie detector, that Elon Musk or SpaceX or any of these people have never, ever, ever given me a single penny. Not a single penny. The only thing that I've ever gotten is if someone signed up using the JCristina / Starlink, once again, jcristina.com / Starlink, they would get a free month and then I would get a free month. That is it. I've never gotten paid from these people at all. And I can't even, the amount of the 500 plus videos I've put together over the last 4 years, I can't even imagine how many SpaceX Starlinks I've sold for them. If I had $1, for, I'd probably be doing, you know, pretty decent. It's a lot. It's got to be a lot because some of those videos would have like, you know, 100,000 views on it, like just crazy. So yeah. But anyways, it is what it is. I do it because I love it and I like helping people out. That's why I do this. Do you remember the telephones back in the day on commercial airlines? Yes. You like pick them up. It looked like a hotline that the president would have. I remember that. I remember those. Hello from Idaho. That's Michelle. Thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello. Grant is in the house. No echo. It's hollow sounding. Try to cover the mic or soften the sound. Okay. So yeah, I actually lowered the sound a little. So maybe that's a little bit better. I know when it gets a little bit too much, too strong, then sometimes you lose some data at the top. So right now, I think we should be all right. I don't know. Keep me abreast. What do we got here? Mind blowing how expensive it is. Yeah. No idea. I was asleep. Thank you, Low Check Greg. Extra mic signal from your earpiece. Any change? 2 mics are live. Yeah. So there's no two mics live. Let me make sure that the mic that's in the computer is also turned down. Let me see input. Let's do input. Let's do input. We do the here. Now this is, I just changed the input to Mac Pro microphone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the input volume and I'm going to put it to 0. There you go. So now there's no input. So I actually set the input to the Mac for that extra for the mic, not the mic that I'm using, and then I lowered it to 0. So there can't be a secondary mic currently coming through. Just who knows? Maybe that helps. You never know. So I did that. There you go. See how that works. I love all the ideas. Extra mic sound, no. Starlink was fine in Australia. That's good to know. Let's see, let's see. Yes, some thumbs ups are always nice. Always love thumbs ups. Those are always appreciated. You know what's even better is like when people share the channel with like their friends and family. That helps out a lot because then we can get like more people in here. I've been telling, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys are content creators. Doesn't matter where or what you content create on. I can tell you that YouTube over the last month has been shites. It's literally went into the toilet when it comes to them promoting what you do, right? It's really, really weird. It's really weird. Like the number of signups, the number of subs, the number of views, everything, just like in the toilet. And I've been talking to a bunch of other creators and they see the exact same thing. So who knows? Maybe they once again changed the algorithm, right? Like everyone is always trying to figure out what the algorithm is, algorithm here, algorithm there, where's the algorithm going, what's going on. So yeah, so I don't know. Shan says, okay, enough of the Elko stuff. It's time to light that shit up. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Sign up for active. Okay, let me see. Let me not pull out my headpiece. Actually, I don't have any audio on. We can lose them. We can pull the headphones off. I don't need them because I'm not running. Maybe next week I will run some videos on here. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let me see. Here we go. Now we'll make believe that Fab is here because normally she would be sitting here, and then I would just like light this up, and instead of it coming out like this much, it would come out like this much. And every time I do it, that always happens. But when she does it, never. So anyways, we'll make believe she's sitting here. She's got her hair here and all that hairspray or whatever's in her hair. No, we don't want Michael Jackson her. So here we go. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Holy shit. Did you see it? It did it again. So, yes, Shannon, there you go. It was once again like 1.5 feet. I don't know. It just does it sometimes. I don't know. You just gotta be careful. That's why usually when Fab does it, she'll do it and it's like this long and that's it. And then I'll do it and things like this. I don't know. I'm not doing it. Just like a button. That's it. I don't know. Oh my God. I love this thing. I love this thing. The problem with this is it's a block 1, right? Do you guys know the difference? So this is a block 1. You see how they're right across from each other at 180 degrees, the flaps, you see that? The new block 2, the ones that keep blowing up over and over and over, these flaps are actually brought in to about 140 degrees. So instead of 180, they're brought in closer, like let's say to you like this at 140 degrees. So they're tucked in. So when it's coming through the atmosphere like this, they are tucked up a little bit and out of the line of fire, let's say, literally, of the plasma as it's coming through, right? And then finally, as it's coming through like this, then finally it does this deal, comes in like this, and then does this deal. So I cannot wait to see this next launch. The problem is like, when is it going to be? They like blew up the test pad. They blew up the other freaking Starship. It's like one problem after another problem. Some people out there, conspiracy theorists, are like, what the hell's going on with Elon? Are they does he have like a crew like of people that are just blowing this stuff up? Sabotage or something? I don't know. Maybe. Why does it keep blowing up? I've said that this block 2 it had a problem since the very beginning. And I said they need to get rid of the block 2, go back to the block 1, and then iterate off that, and then innovate into that block 3, because the block 2 is busted. They went with this 25% more propellant, meaning that it's taller. So we'll pop this off, right? So instead of it being this height, right, now it's this long. So it holds about 25% more propellant in it. Well, when you do that, right, now all of a sudden your piping changes. Now all of a sudden that you did that, the harmonics change. There is now more tension. There's more vibration. And it's just ripping the ass out of it and blowing it up all the time. So, I don't know. They need to work on it. That I do know. and Massey blew up, and they're fixing that, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm ready for the next one to launch, but I know they're not. So we'll keep watching. We'll keep watching. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Moving on. Create content on Facebook and their algorithm for calculating pay for each of my posts. Now various drastically and makes no sense. Really, they vary drastically and they make no sense. Yeah, and that's it. So it's like I look at that. Yeah, okay. So you make content, you put it on Facebook, then you go and promote it, and you pay them to promote it. So instead of them actually promoting it because you actually did good content, no, you have to pay them to promote it, because if you don't, then they don't promote it at all. So it's like I just feel like it's so busted. It's like so busted. It's like, but anyways, I don't want to get too deep in the woods when it comes to the whole YouTube and the Facebook algorithm, all the rest of the stuff. But it just reminds me of gambling. The house always wins. They'll give, and then they take. And then they give just enough to get you like the taste that, oh God, I got it now. I got it. They're like, into the toilet. And then you're up here again, and then they do it over and over and over. People don't think that happens, and it happens. And I know, I have a small channel, like 130 some thousand people. I know channels that have 1 million people plus 10 million people, and the exact same thing happens to them. So it's not like just small guys or gals; it's the big ones too. It's just what they do. I don't. To me, it doesn't make sense, but it is. Peter, what does Peter says? Who wants a half-eaten apple? Oh, not me. Android all the way. I like that, Peter. I like that, Peter. Yeah, I know. I ended up getting a new Apple. I said that if Elon came up with a Tesla phone or a Pi phone or freaking an Elon phone, I would buy it. I would buy 3 of them. But he didn't, and he's not going to. So I ended up going with another Apple. Is what it is. Let's see. Mo says, "Holy cheat, Batman! That was a big fire, big ball." Ian, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Hey, brother, please keep it up with the amazing work. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Listen, Ian, I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the encouragement. There's a lot of people that, they don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. A few of you guys do, that I'll vent to. Shannon is one of them. I know. I tell him a lot of what goes on and the difficulties sometimes. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but I absolutely love it. If not, I wouldn't do it. Let's see. Mick says, if you like Starship Flame, you need an X15 flamethrower. Wouldn't that be awesome? I didn't get one of those. That would have been that would be freaking awesome to have. That would be really cool. I like that. I personally wanted to buy, but I missed the Elon Musk, the freaking flamethrower that he had. That would just been the coolest shit to have, just to have it, right? The Elon flamethrower. That's just awesome. Renee says, sound is better now that you removed the earbuds. Really? That's weird. These are, matter of fact, these earbuds I took out, just so you know, these are monitors, right? So there's no audio in them at all, right? These are just inner ear monitors. So it's not like something that looks like this, where it has like a microphone built into it. It's not like that. They're just standard inner ear monitors, or something like this. I'm sure you guys seen plenty of those. No, they are true monitors, and that's it. So why that would be, I don't know. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Let's see. Carl says, rumors by the end of the month, 28th, 29th, or 30th. That would be awesome. I would like to see it. I want to be there. I want to see it. Because, I've not missed going live on any of these in a while. I've been there for at least 4 or 5 of them so far in a row without missing one. So I really enjoy covering the SpaceX Starlink, the SpaceX, the Starships launching, and eventually the Starlinks finally launching. I would like to see those Starlink dummies actually be put into orbit, using the Pez door open and then shooting those things out. I'm ready for that. I've been waiting for that for months and months and months, guys. I'm sure that a lot of you guys will just be happy to see that too, for sure. Um, Shan says, get a Trump phone. Yes, the gold phone, right? I think it's like a Chinese damn phone. What the hell is he doing? I don't even know. I don't even know. What is that? Shannon, what is that? What is Trump doing with this damn phone? It's not even Trump. It's his kids, I get it. I get it. It's just, yeah. Yeah. It's not it. It's not it. It's not it. I did a bunch of research on it, and it's not going to work. All right? I'll just put it out there right now. It's not going to work. But it's okay. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to do it. So we'll see. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. So, yeah. Let's see. Let me see. George says, back when I was working on HD video for LAN and tested 2000 AD, I came up with using DOS to add our hard drive files. It really, it worked and it was a game changer. No kidding. That's kind of cool. That is cool. Engineers doing too much. Yes, always, J. Munder, always. SpaceX should consider adding more filters to balance the yeah. They, I don't know. I really think that what they need to do with the Starship is go back to, once again, from scratch to the Block 1 and then rebuild off that, because it's just too big right now for its own good. It's just too tall, too long, and harmonics is just a problem, and the thing is shaking like crazy. And they supposedly souped it up on the last one so that it wasn't going to have this problem, and then it had the problem. Literally the same problem, similar problem. Once again, shaking. You cannot shake something so much, so violently, and expect the hoses not to start snapping off and the stuff start ripping apart. That's just the way it is, You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that, right? Let me see. Moving on here. Is that a Mars by your lava lamp? It is. Look, it's Mars. It's Mars. Next to the lava lamp, it is Mars. Thank you for asking, Tim. That is Mars. I stuck it there. You could actually change it, change the color of it. So right now it looks like Mars. I can make it look like the moon too. Yeah. So let me just say, and I'll get back into other questions. If you have a question, once again, put @JCristina. That helps out a lot. And if I didn't answer your question because I missed it, because that's how I am, put it in there again. No problem. I won't answer it twice. Trust me. Don't trust me. But maybe I'll answer it twice. So what do you guys think about this whole China's killer satellites that I did this piece on a couple of days ago? It was kind of cool, right? This whole proximity thing where China sends up satellites that are that literally will pull up next to other satellites, and they have an arm. They can actually grab the other satellite and do whatever the frick they want with it. They can pull it back into the atmosphere. They can push it off. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. I think, that was one of the things that they were doing with this Golden Dome, which is effectively very similar to the Iron Dome that they have in Israel. The Golden Dome, where right now they're going to be putting 200 plus of these sentries or these guards, these bouncers up into space first, before they start putting the true assets, which are called interceptors, that'll be able to knock out missiles before they even leave the atmosphere, which is really freaking cool. But they're going to have 200 of these things, and that's all they're going to do is just watch over their assets, those interceptor satellites, to make sure that China doesn't just pull up next to it and go and blow it up, or go push it back into into the atmosphere or something. It's just crazy. I mean, I've said this in the past. I really do think warfare is going to be fought in space before it's fought on Earth in the future. A lot of things will be fought in space. Just kind of nutty. Let me see. Chris says, let me see. When are Starlink prices going to go down? I'm getting hammered by $120 price. Yes, yes, for only 150 to 200 megabits. That's not bad, actually. 150 to 200 megabits is pretty quick. That being said, you can go with the SpaceX Starlink new version of the standard package, which is considered light. So it's the residential light in comparison to the residential standard. You're going to get slightly slower speeds, but instead of 120, you'll be able to get it for $80 per month. You can look into that. You know, what I would do and what I tell people to do is try it for a month. You can always go right back to the standard if you want, downgrade in big air quotes. And the reason I say big air quotes because there's a lot of people that downgraded to this light and they were seeing the same speeds. The reason they were seeing the same speeds is because in their location, they didn't have a lot of congestion. So I think that if you're in a location that doesn't have a lot of congestion, not a lot of people using SpaceX Starlink, you can go with a Starlink standard light package, then save you $40 per month. So check into that, okay? And if it works, great. If it doesn't, go back to standard, you know? I think it's a good way to do it. Physical access, best access, yes, that's true. Funny Trump phones made in China. Yeah, so the Trump phone, we don't know exactly. It's going to be made in the US, but parts are coming from China. And the demo that I saw was a Chinese phone. So maybe they're prototyping, you know, but my understanding is all customer service and all manufacturing is going to happen in the US. That's what I understand. But the phone that I saw is a Chinese based phone. So I don't know how that's working. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me see. Mick says, I've actually been surprised they haven't worked on building satellites that could shoot drones down to Earth, be able to launch them worldwide at any point. Yeah, so, I mean, the satellites really can't hold enough to really worry about shooting drones. I mean, if you want to shoot drones on a location, you just pull up on a battleship and launch like a barrage of like thousands of drones if you wanted to, right? So to do it off a satellite just doesn't make sense. The kinetic power of the satellites are going to be more RF modulate like radio frequency microwaves, also laser. You know, you get like a 5-watt laser, you burn through all kinds of crazy shit. People don't understand how powerful lasers are, and you don't need a lot of power to be able to burn straight through stuff. A couple of watt laser will definitely burn stuff out pretty quickly. Anyway, so laser, RF, you know, and a few other things. The other thing that they were doing, which would be kinetic, was supposedly launching these like rods, like a titanium type of rod, at the missiles, and that will take any missile freaking out because those things will go straight through like crazy. So there's going to be multiple kinetic things that these interceptors are going to be able to do. And what's nice about them is their goal is to be able to intercept the missiles before they leave the atmosphere, and ideally intercept the missiles before they separate. You have your base, then you have your payload, right? So as it's launching, once it gets to a certain altitude, the base, right, will break off, and now the payload, right? Let's say it's a ICBM, like an intercontinental ballistic missile, let's say. The payload holding either a nuke or some other type of warhead, that will break apart, and then that will keep going. So they want to actually knock them down when they're still connected,
before they can separate and now go faster, because that payload area can go fast as hell, whereas together it's a lot slower to get up there. So that's the whole idea with this Golden Dome, is actually to blow things up before they separate, when they're still manageable. Once they get high speed and they're supersonic, things get a little bit more difficult. So that's the goal. All right, so we'll see what ends up happening with that. Shannon, did you know that Joe does technology and photography consulting? Yes. If you need to know anyone, yeah. I've been doing a lot of consulting, less with the photography, but more with the audio video type of thing, with people wanting to do podcasts and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of that, and I've been doing a lot of consulting with SpaceX Starlink stuff, building out mesh networks in very large scale, bringing things to a really tight, like buttoning things down, putting together multiple SpaceX Starlinks into one mesh network to create stuff that is super fast or super, super reliable. So yeah, there's a bunch of consulting that I do. So if you go to JCristina.com /shop, if you go down to the bottom, you'll see consulting, and then you can pick either business class consulting or just personal, like residential. It's different pricing, obviously, but check it out. If you need help, let me know. I'm here for you. I kind of know this stuff a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know. Let's see, Mo. That's right, Shannon. And you can connect JC, whether it's media, relationship, or tips for helping out Starlink. Yes, go to JCristina.com /contact. Absolutely. Let's see, Joseph. How you doing, Joseph? This is Joseph Howard. My speed right now, even while watching the stream, is 220. So you got 200 down and 20 up, and you're watching a 4K stream. I mean, that's nice. I like to hear it. I mean, SpaceX Starlink is really damn good. I mean, you know what? Let's do a speed test, right? Why don't we do a speed test? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's do a quick speed test and see what are we getting. All right, here's the speed test. Let me connect. I'm going to connect to only the SpaceX Starlink, because remember, we have 3 connections in here. We have SpaceX Starlink, we have T-Mobile, we have fiber. All 3 all together, as I always say, going into here and then propagating out. So let me go and connect. Here we go. So the phone now is connected only to SpaceX Starlink. And let's see what we get. What time is it right now? 10:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Florida. So we have a ping of 20 milliseconds. Are you seeing this? What are we getting? 330. We got a ping of 24 milliseconds. Check it out, guys. Are you guys going to be able, can you see that? Maybe. Let's see what we got. Is it done? Yeah, it's done with that. Let's see. It's still going. All right. 355 megabits down. And the up speed ends up at 15.6. Let me see. Can we do that? Does it actually work? Let me do it really close. Hold on. Let me get my face. If I get my face out of there, maybe it'll lock in. Come on. No, maybe we'll do this, and then this. Something like that. There you go. 355 by 15.6 with a 24 millisecond ping. I told you. I mean, and there's live, right? I did it live. Now, usually the up speed, I'm getting about 24, not 15 or 16 or whatever. I'm getting about 24. But you see a down speed of 355. But what's really just crazy is that 24 millisecond ping, guys. I'm telling you, I've seen 14.5 milliseconds here. That is insane. And then people get all like envious. They're like, why does Joe got this? He's got like some kind of connection with Elon. I don't. And by the way, that speed that you just saw there is from a generation 2. This doesn't even have a Generation 3 hooked up, or it'd be even faster. Generation 2 still with the fully articulated, top piece to it, right? The motors, the actuator motors, right? So it dials itself in by itself. Isn't that kind of nuts? But anyways, so there you go, live. Those are the speeds live. Maybe next Friday I'll do the speeds again. See what they're at. But I mean, can't beat that. It's really, really. I mean, like I said, they're doing fantastic. They really are doing fantastic. Let me see. George says in the '80s, President Reagan proposed a strategic defense initiative. Yeah, I know. That's when he was trying to do the Star Wars thing. I remember missile defense system nicknamed Star Wars. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, I remember that. And they never did it. He was definitely over here. Everyone used to kind of like make fun of him because Reagan was like, he was an actor, right? So he didn't have the chops of a politician. And that's what I really liked about him, right? I can't stand politicians, They're like Loyolas, right? They're constantly lying. It's like you don't know what to believe, So that's one of the things I did like about him. It was just what it was is what it was. If you get it, you didn't get it, I don't know. Peter says, question. You skipped me before, JC. So what is it? Ask me the question. Ask me the question, Peter. I missed it. If I missed it, please ask me again. Mick says, speaking of Elon, Grok 4, yes, is the most impressive. So I haven't checked out Grok 4 recently. I need to get in there. I've been using a lot of Perplexity, testing that out. ChatGPT I've been testing, some other things. I was thinking about putting together something on the Linux box, but I just find it hard to do because it's so stagnant. It's like you can put together a really good AI, it's in a bottle, but it's in a shell. I need it to get out there, right? Because I really enjoy current events, current data, current stuff. And if I just put together an AI that's really good at, I don't know, solving frickin' the Rubik's Cube or something, that's just, to me, it's a waste of damn time. So, but I don't know. I'm looking into doing some AI stuff. So just hang tight with that. We'll see. Did you notice that Joe aged 5 years from Crew Sunburn? I probably did, right? Like this is all Shannon. My entire so I'm like a guy that has no grease because I don't eat grease, right? So I age a lot quicker than Fab does because I don't have like, I mean, everything just right. I dry up, but for some reason I got off the cruise and I'm like sitting here, I'm like greasy, like I'm like a grease coming out. Like what the hell's going on? The cruise messed me up, man. I don't know. I don't know. Crazy. Ay, ay, ay. But thank you for noticing, Shannon, that I'm damn old as hell now. I got off the cruise and I aged 65 years. Oh, man. Did you know that Joe has a dancing Elon and a dancing Jeff Bezos? I do. Let me see if I can find them. Let's see. Where's Bozo? Oh, hell yeah. There he is. Look at Mr. Look at where there he is. Look at Mr. Bozo right about here. Oh, he's awesome. But wait. Then we got to bring Elon in. Let's bring Elon. Come on, Elon. Where are you? Do your thing. Where in the hell is he? Where's Elon? I don't see him. Elon, where are you? Where in the hell happened to Elon? Oh, here he is. Why isn't he going? Oh, no. Man, my Elon doesn't work. That's upsetting. Yeah, Elon's not working. Oh, well. I'm going to have to figure out what the hell's wrong with Elon. I'm going to take a look at his filters. He's there. Why isn't he playing? I don't know. Let me move him up. Let me see if I can put him all the way at the top. Elon, where are you? Damn. Oh, well. Well, we got Jeff. Can we put a rocket up too? Yes. Be careful, Jeff. You're going to get a rocket in the ass. Oh, set there. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. we'll leave him there. We'll let him just keep on hanging out there and doing his thing. Thank you for that, Shannon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh no. Shannon with the 10 super chats, or excuse me, the 10 free memberships. Guys, if you got a free membership, say thank you to Shannon. Man, he helps the channel out so much, so much. Really appreciate it. Brian, who else we got here? Pepas? I don't know. Jose? We got a whole bunch of people here. John again. Two different Johns. We got a Tony. If you got a free membership from Shannon, say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you very much, Shannon. Really, really, really helps out a lot. Thank you. Let's see. Life Now says hard proposed in the 50s. Orbital not grown with the base kinetic energy and the re-entry. The Chinese would have to be fools if they don't have them. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Chinese have a lot of stuff that they don't tell us that they have, obviously. The whole proximity thing that they've been doing, the Chinese have been doing for like multiple years now, and actually it works. I mean, I remember last year they took a dead satellite and like threw it back into the atmosphere, killed it. And they did it with one of their robotic arms, and they did their thing. So the Chinese over there, they are definitely trying to figure out what they can do to remain relevant on the world stage when it comes to superiority, weaponry. You know, and we know that space is the frontier that everyone is going for right now. So low Earth orbit, LEO, like how do we do it? How do they do it? And that's what they're working on right now, because they're not going to be able to get 8,000 satellites in orbit. They're having they blow the shit up all the time. I show videos all the time. I showed a video for you guys, like, I don't know, was it a couple months ago? They launched a rocket, the thing went up a little bit, then came back down, blew up, took out like a portion of the town. It was a fire. People are running like, Gaia. Like if there was like Godzilla was coming, you know, you remember that back in the 70s and 80s, right? They like running, and there's things exploding on the horizon on the side of a hill. But do they think they care, or do you think anyone in that specific location got any type of money for almost having their house blown up, or maybe some people on the hill got killed? No, they just launch again tomorrow. They don't care. It's like over here, it's like, oh my God, you blew something up in the ocean? Let's have a full out, like, we need to analyze the whole thing and find out why it blew up in the ocean. And then we need to analyze the ocean to make sure there's no fish at, like, 20,000 leagues under the sea with Captain Nemo blew up his ship or something. They just come up with craziness. Craziness, people. John Wolf says 267 down. Wow, not bad. And 9 up at 27 milliseconds. That's really good. Carl has 280 down by 30 up in 23 milliseconds. That's fabulous. Carl's got an awesome speed there. Brad, the mini, is giving him 304 down by 22 up. That's sweet. You see, 41. That's okay. That is not bad at all. Not a lot of people there. Shannon Bombshell incoming. Let's see. Moving on. Does Bozo have audio? I guess he does, doesn't he? All right. There he goes. All right. Now Bozo, there should be no audio coming from Bozo. Thank you, Shannon, for that. Let me know. I think that should do it. What the hell kind of audio did it have? I don't even know. I'll have to look into it. It's probably something that's very, something that is copyrighted or something, and then I'll have to see that they I don't know, put a strike on the freaking live or something. You know how it goes. This is how this stuff works. Let's see. Elon glitched out performance. Yes. Greece says, next we need a dancing JC. in Greece. I should do that, right? Let's see, let's see. Boo. I was hoping to see another clash of the tech bros. I know. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what happened to my Elon. I don't know why Elon's not working. I'm going to turn off Jeff for a minute. I'm going to turn Elon back on. Yeah, for some reason, Elon just. Why is Elon not working? Where is Elon? Where is this guy? He's like nowhere to be seen. I'm like looking, and he's nowhere. I don't know what the hell happened to him. That's just weird. That kind of stuff happens, though. You know, when you put these things together, the we use like OBS Studios, and it's a free package, and they're constantly doing updates. And I feel like every time they fix something, they break something. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. I don't know. Let's see. Once again, if you have any questions, right, put an at JCristina before the question. We'll kind of hang out for another maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or whatever, and then we'll kind of call it. But if there's anything that you want to talk about, put it in there right now. Once again, at JCristina. It pops up on my side orange so I can see it really easily. Let's see. William says, get all the big wigs to dance on the screen. Trump, Bozo, Elon, Richard Branson. I like that. I got to see if I can come up with some more people dancing. Shannon, if you have any green screen people, let me know. We'll put them all together. Just have like a whole dancing crew of people. I like it. I think it's good. Especially when they launched the Starship. I just love when they launch Starship and then I put Dancing Bozo down there. That's just, I love that. I enjoy that thoroughly. Oh man, I know. Kind of strange. Let's see. Yes, Shannon, find me Godzilla. We got to do Godzilla. Gaiaka. You remember that? My God, that was good times. I used to love that when I was a kid. That was just good stuff. Let's see. Yes, the penguin happy dance. That would be good. So let me just see one thing here. Did you guys let me see, where is it? Yeah. No one else told me. I thought that someone would tell me, but no one else told me if they had any outage last night between 12 a.m. and 1:30, because there was a lot of people that were out. There was a lot, not a little. There was a lot. I don't see anyone in here. Let's go over to while we're kind of just hanging out here for a minute. Let me see if this goes over there. Does that go over? I don't see it going over. It should, but it's not. Let me see. Maybe it's this one. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that would work. And maybe we'll go with this one. Yeah, that's even better. Okay, we'll do that one. Let's see. Let me just shrink me a little bit. So this is their site. Like what's going on over there right now. So if we go to Starship, as you can see, this is what we get when we go over to SpaceX, right? This is what we get for the Starship. But normally it would come up with like a time, like when is the next time it's going to launch, like what's going on over there. And we don't get that, right? We just get this, where it just talks to you a little bit about the ship, about what the size is and all of the specs and all the rest of the stuff. But there's no information at all. I have not been, has anyone else been able to find any information? I know someone said before the end of this month, supposedly it was going to launch, but I don't have that confirmed yet. Does anyone else have confirmation on the Starship launching again? Because I want to make sure that I'm here for that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these people. Man, they've been having a lot of damn problems. Mick says we are possibly getting the Boring Company here in Nashville. Really? That's kind of cool. What are they going to do? Are they going to do a loop over there with you guys? I heard that they were going to do a loop like Disney, like around Disney or something. The Boring Company. You know, people are always like, I don't understand with Elon. Like, why does he have the Boring Company? Like, why does he want to dig holes like a mole? Why? Well, if you think about it, if you go, if your goal is to get to Mars and you understand that on Mars you're not going to be able to live unless you're underground for a while, let's say, it's probably going to be important to to dig holes, reinforce and dig holes in Mars, right? So the Boring Company makes sense. If you want to go to Mars, but you know you're not going to be able to put humans on there right away, it would make sense to make robots. That's what we see with Tesla. The robot cars, those are full robots. It's just in the shape of a car, but it's basically a robot. And then, of course, you have Optimus. So that kind of makes sense too. You want to be able to get to Mars with something, so you make a company like SpaceX. So you have a rocket to do so. So it's like it's like every single company that Elon Musk makes, it's almost picture. It's like perfect for the goal of getting to Mars. Think about it, right? Like everything that he does, even like the little nuance things, it's about that. Starlink, you know, you need communication, right? So you're going to have communication from Mars to Earth. How are you going to do it? You're going to do it through lasers, substations. Those substations are probably going to have to be nuclear powered. Um, that will be in between so that it can take the signal and then propagate it and fire it off so it's even further, that type of thing. So you're not shooting a single laser from Mars to Earth and expect you to be able to get some type of data there. You can't do it. The dispersion of the laser light, let's call it, from Mars to Earth would probably be the size of freaking a football field. So you need a massive collector because you're going to be losing a shit ton on the sides, right? So you need to be able to focus, gather it, focus, gather it, focus. So you'd have to kind of like almost like APs, like access points in a mesh network to like propagate the signal. You're going to need that. So there's like so much stuff that he does that is so specific to doing the whole Mars thing. I think it's just brilliant. I don't think people see it sometimes, like all the different things that he does and all the different companies. And they're not there for just no reason. They're there for a reason. I mean, look what he's doing with Neuralink. You don't think Neuralink has a lot to do with what's going on? It does. You know, it's yes, it's great that he's going to be able to, you know, help people see who haven't been able to see before and walk who have, you know, extreme problems with, you know, spinal cord injuries and whatnot. But there's a lot of other things that can be done with that. So, yeah, I find it amazing. I really do. And he's just so focused. This guy, he's like one of those people that are on 24/7, 365 days a year. He's not off. Like mentally, it's like I remember I saw him one time standing around while Trump is talking. You know, he's talking and talking and talking and talking, and you know he's gonna sign a bill or some crazy shit or whatever. And Elon's there and he's standing there, and then all of a sudden he's like, and you can just see he's just he just wants to go. His mind is like figuring stuff, doing stuff, calculating stuff, and he can't sit there anymore. Like his meds wore off or something, right? I love that guy. I'm telling you, Elon is one of those people that people should really watch and learn from. He's definitely one of those people that just are they are on all the time. Those are the successful people, right? The ones that you find that sleep like 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours a night, those are the ones that usually are super successful. Look at anyone. Just go through the entire list of anyone you know that's successful and find out how many hours of a night they get. And almost all of them, they say it's the exact same thing. Anyways, I digress as I always do. Make the shirt, Shannon. I digress. Oh man, let me see. Any trouble I can do? to figure out why Mac computers won't recognize microphones with a 3.5-inch jack. Yeah, Mac computers, they instead of, what is it, TRS, they do TRRS or whatever, because their microphone is like a microphone and a headphone together in the same 3.5 jack. So you have to have the right adapter and the right headset microphone combo. If not, it won't work. Don't even get me started with the dongleification of Apple, how everything turned into a goddamn dongle. So instead of just having a computer that has a whole bunch of ports on, no, we make a computer this thin and it has damn like one port. And it's like, okay, well, I need 7 ports. What do I do? Oh, it's okay. You just get a dongle for that. So now all of a sudden, instead of having just like a laptop like this one, no, wait, hold on. Without, am I gonna pull this out? Let me see if can I show this to you guys? Can you guys see this? You can't see it. Damn it! Let me see. I want you to see this. I'm gonna freaking rip this out. I don't care. Here we go. Can you see this? This and this. God, you can't see it, can you? Damn it. Anyways, I have here. I have this Anchor that's a 7-port thing that does HDMI. It does like the input of a network connector. It has the 3.1s. It also has one of the smaller lightnings. All of the shit. And then after that, we need one of these too. We have another one of these. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. So this is another adapter plugged in that will give me, instead of just one of the USB-Cs, it gives me 4 USB-Cs, so I could plug in a whole bunch of other shit. So instead of having like a nice clean laptop that has all of your stuff like in it, no, you got to have like a whole, like this. Like this is my Mac. It looks like this. Hold on, wait, I need more. Here's my Mac. Okay, with dongles, and this will be a dongle, right? This is my Mac. Here you go, right? Wow, that looks fantastic. I really like that, right? I like that. Stupid ass shit that they do, stupid. Anyways, so there you go. Why do they do that, guys? Why? So they can say that it's nice and sleek? Yeah, it's nice and sleek if you're doing nothing. You're using it as a damn iPad instead of a freaking computer. Yeah, so there you go. All right. I'm glad we had that conversation there, Fragile, with your 3.5 damn jack and the freaking Mac. God. Let me see. Brandon says, unfortunately, dancing Elon covers a starship. Yeah. Probably. We got our own bozo in Australia. He's our prime minister. Yeah, I mean, you guys over there in Australia, yeah, you've been having some issues. I know. Sadly. Let's see. Rick says we need to talk about IFT10. Yeah, IFT10. I'm ready for it. Rick, I am ready for it. I'm ready for it, but they're not ready for it. It's a mess. I don't know what's going on. They just keep, Massey, they blew up. I mean, that was like a hot ass mess. They're trying to fix that. Now they're going and retro. They're figuring it out. Okay, they are going to figure it out. But everything is so pushed back because of that explosion that happened. They just, I'll be happy once they have the Starbase here in Florida, so that they have one, in Texas, and they have one here on the Space Coast, right? So they can actually launch from either. So if one blew up and there's like something really bad happened over here, it's fine. We still got something over here. So we'll see. Supposedly 2 years. So maybe by the end of 2026 we should see like a lot of progress. Maybe even something completed by 2027. We'll see what happens. That would be awesome. So we'll see 2 launch pads in Texas, and we should see 2 here in Florida. So I don't know. Let me see. Thank you so much, John, for the kicks. I love those. We love the kicks. Let's see. Airport to downtown. Thanks for all the Oh, I appreciate that, George. Says thanks for all the Greece photos. My tour of the island was canceled by the State Department before Desert Storm. That sucks. Yeah. My favorite was Mykonos. Probably said it a few times. I absolutely love it. The people are amazing. The place is amazing. It's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys want to travel somewhere? Travel to Mykonos, Greece. The people are just the food, everything. It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Um, Arnold says run things with robots. Absolutely. Dig holes in Mars. That's exactly right. Um, Elon made tunnels at the car factories in Austin. Yes. Also the loop, right? The loop. We'll see what ends up happening with the loop. Speaking of digging a hole, LA in deep trouble had rescued 30 plus workers in a tunnel. Was moving human waste. Yes, crap, in 40 feet wide tunnel. What the hell? Where the hell did you come up with this story? I want to see. I want to read that. Life and Death says a tunnel around Orlando Disney. Yep. Don't those flood in Florida? Yes. So those tunnels that they make. So we can't have cellars in Florida because our water table is like about 2.5 to 3.5, 4 feet underground. So basically, if you're going to do a tunnel in Florida, or if you're going to do a basement in Florida, you're building a pool. You follow that? You're building a pool. That's the only way you can keep the water from rising. That's just how it is because we're so low. Fort Lauderdale asked Boring for a new tunnel under the river. Yes, they could do that. Absolutely. 3 or 4 years ago, they went home crying. Yeah, yeah, that's an expensive proposition, but yeah, they could dig tunnels underneath rivers and all that kind of stuff. The Boring Company's amazing at that stuff, and but like I said, they're going to be digging a lot of tunnels. I'm telling you, in on Mars or in Mars, a lot of tunnels. Mick says in the first biography about him, he talked about how he went to parties and would sit in a corner writing down thoughts that popped into his head about SpaceX and Tesla. I believe that 100%. I mean, Elon would do that. Sit at a party and just write down thoughts. I mean, like I said, when you see him, he has a hard time just sitting there listening to someone else talk. He has shit to do, very difficult for him, and you can just see the pain. Like he literally needs meds to sit there and do nothing. Okay, he's just brilliant. A lot of people have said that Elon Musk was dumb, and I just don't understand how anyone could really say that because he's so not dumb. I don't know. Top down camera. Yeah, we had a top down camera. It's not plugged in right now. That was from William. Thank you, William, for that. Let's see. Let's see. Question. This from Peter. It is because it is apple, half-eaten apple. Exactly. You're right. A half-eaten apple. That's right. Have you guys? Do you guys? I I saw this interview. Let me see if I can bring this up while we're just sitting here talking about billionaires and how smart they are, but some of them are so freaking nasty. It's unbelievable. Let me see if I can find this. That's Prince. No. Where in the hell is it? Is it here? No. Is it here? No. Where'd it go? Huh. Maybe it's in one of these other ones. Hold on, guys. I think it'd be kind of cool to be able to show this to you. Let me see. No. So, anyways, it was an interview with Mr. Wonderful. Not really a fan of the guy, but he's okay. He's all right. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, it's a reel. Okay. So let me see. Let me get this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this and send it. Let me copy this. There we go. Copy. And then maybe I can actually share it. That would be even better. Let me see if I can share it with the Mac. Because if I can, then I might be able to play it for you guys. That'd be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. So, anyways, while I'm doing this, let me just tell you, real quick, that it was I'm just gonna have to play it like this. So, I'll give you the backstory here. The dark side of Steve Jobs. Like I've always said, Steve Jobs was always an ass. And the people that are really powerful, that's kind of how they are. And this guy talks about him on how he was. Listen to this real quick. I'm going to put it up into the mic. Ready? Here we go. Let me see.
Steve, by the way, not a nice guy.
Steve. So he starts out. Now, did you hear what he said? He said, "Steve, not a nice guy." That's how he started out this conversation. Okay, Steve.
Say to a room full of people, Kevin, I don't give a shit what the students want, or the parents think, or anybody thinks. It's what I want. They don't know what they want till I tell them what they want. That's how it is, Kevin. Now, are you making money with me? Have we not been wildly successful and continue to be? I said, yes, Steve, that's true. He said, then you fucking shut up and do what I say.
That's how he would talk to you.
100%. And here's what I learned. Look how wildly successful he was. But here's why. There's a concept that he understood that very few people focused on back then in the early 90s of signal-to-noise ratio. What was so brilliant about Jobs, his vision of signal was the top 3 to 5 things you have to get done in the next 18 hours. Not your vision for the business next week or next month or next year, just the next 18 hours you're awake. You're going to get those 3 things or those 5 things done that you have deemed critical for your mission. They must get done today. Anything that stops you from doing that is the noise. So this signal-to-noise ratio to be successful for Steve Jobs was 80-20. 80 signal, 20 noise. He was right. And the only other person that I've seen that has a higher ratio than that is Elon Musk. He has no noise. He does not deal with noise. He is 100% signal, every cycle. I mean, the guy is just 60 seconds of every minute, 60 minutes of every hour. The 18 hours he's awake, it's all signal.
There you go. That's Mr. Wonderful talking on Elon. Very similar to what I was just saying, right? It's those kind of people. They are on all the time. They are not off. They are on. So even when they're sitting in a room, like what you were saying, at a party, and he's writing down ideas for Tesla and for SpaceX or whatever. That's how they are. That's how they are. And it's not that it's a bad thing. That's just how they are. And I remember with Steve Jobs, me coming up in that same era. I remember when I first started working on computers, I worked on the first Apple II. That was before the Apple II Plus or Apple IIe, moving finally into the Macs and whatnot. But I worked on the Apple IIs, and I used to write in assembly code, and I used to burn all the chips myself, and I'd make my own. Anyways, because I'm a dork, right? So this is the kind of stuff I remember. Listening some things with Jobs. I'm like, this guy, he's gonna get shit canned because he just is very blatant. He was just an ass. He's just an ass. He's gonna get shit canned, and he ended up getting shit canned by the board. And the Apple just did this. It just tanked. Apple went into the friggin' toilet. You were able to buy Apple for like $16 a share or something. It went into the frickin' toilet. And until they finally hired him back to bring Apple back, it was in the toilet. And then finally he came back, and Apple did this. Until finally he died, right? So, but the same thing holds true here with Elon. Could you imagine if Elon, had a problem, then he was like outed or something? Do you think any of these companies would be even 1/10 of what they are? No, because they don't have people don't have the focus like this guy does. Anyways, so there you go. But thank you for that. That's exactly, I was thinking about that. How you were saying that Elon Musk would sit in the party and write notes instead of communicating with people, and that I can see him doing that. That's something that he would do. Let's see. Top down camera. Okay. Question because the app. Okay. William says so they can sell you more stuff. Absolutely, as always. Have you ever used a real router? It's a VPN built for Wi-Fi and Ethernet. John, I haven't seen that Rio router. Never played with it. Maybe they can send me one and I'll check it out. I've been looking at a lot of different routers lately for some projects that I'm working on. So I don't know if they're listening. Send me a damn router. Let me see. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. Tim, the death of Steve Jobs was a death of innovation. All we get is faster processors and better cameras. Boring. 100%, Tim. That's exactly right. Faster processors, which means nothing because processors are always going to get faster, and better cameras. Big freaking deal. So now instead of the camera actually being in the phone, now the freaking lens is sticking out. Now instead of having one sticking out, you have two sticking out. Now instead of two sticking out, you have four sticking out. You take a look at some of the Android, you got five you got like, the time you're done, you turn over your phone and you're going to just have lines and lines of like freaking 10 lenses. All right? It's just stupid. I mean, they've literally made a camera instead of a phone. That's what it is. Okay? It's just craziness what they've done with the phone. And yet they are getting $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 for a phone. For a phone. That's serious marketing. I need to be able to sell like that, guys. Teach me. That's just crazy. That's just awesome. But yeah, absolutely, innovation died with Jobs. 100%. 100%. Let's see. Mo says the Austin PM might be a bozo, but better than the liberal conservatives that can't decide whether. Yeah, no, it's true, Mo. Mo, things are a mess. I don't know. Now we have a third party, Elon Musk with his party. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a video on that. I think this week coming up, I'm gonna do a video on it just because I don't even care. Even though it's not really a political channel, but it's still Elon Musk. I want to talk about it a little bit. I think it's just funny. I don't know. We're gonna have a third party, so we'll have a fourth party. We'll have an independent. We have the Republic. We have the Democrats. We have the Elons. The America. I love it. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Carly, thanks for being here. Says, why can I not find Starlink with the Gen 4 router anywhere? I don't know. Take a look at your, let's see, where are we right now? We're at, let's go to Starlink. Let's see what's going on over here at Starlink. Starlink.com, if I spell it right. Here we go. Starlink.com. Residential roaming. Order now. Here we go. We got residential, right? What do we got? Select. And let's see. All right, speeds. Let's see, orders. Here we go, residential. So here we got the residential light I was telling you about earlier today, $80 per month for the light. You do get limited deprioritized data. But then you have the 120, which is the unlimited data. They're both unlimited, but deprioritized, meaning that if someone with residential service is trying to get on and you are trying to get on with your residential light, they're going to prioritize the residential people over you. That's all. So you're going to get slower speeds. Residential will get the faster speeds. But it's $40 less per month, which would be, what, $480 per year. So, I don't know, save the money if you don't really need that little extra speed. Let me see, service plan specific. Okay, service plans, blah, 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 blah. Let me see. I'm just checking to see if they have a list of the available packages. Here we go. Starlink kickstand. Okay, so Gen 3 router. Right, okay. So this is what we got. Gen 3 router. And the dish, which would be like the mini, I guess the mini would be considered Gen 4. I don't know if would you consider that? Anyways, so yeah, this is what's available. Gen 3. Gen 3 is with the kickstand. You know, the Gen 2 doesn't have the kickstand. That's what I have currently, a Gen 2. So yeah, 30-day trial. Not bad, not bad. I also got notification, guys, that I can get a new like a brand new dish, a new setup for free if I stay with them for 1 year. So I did get that. I don't know if everyone has gotten that, but I know I did. See speeds by state. I love this. Check this thing out. So this is new. They didn't have this before, which I do like. So this is our state. This is the location, and then at the top you have your speeds. Okay, and then it'll go by state. Now I want you to select. So let's select. What are we going to select? what are we going to select? So allow, don't visit, allow this time. Here, we're going to allow this time. So here we go. So this is where I'm located, here. So the speeds in this entire state is 150 megabits or higher. Look at this. Let me just, look at this. Let me scroll that. Let me scroll. 150 megabits or higher. Everything here is 150 megabits or higher. Only down here, all the way down here, Mexico is slower. Look at this. The entire US, all this is 150 megabits or faster. So there you go. And there it is. Let me see. This is outside of the neighborhood over in Fox Trail. Let me put an address in Wellington. Let me see. Wellington, Florida, 33414. Let me take a look and see what they have here. Let me click order now. I want to see what they give us. It's showing 260 megabits. Now we know we got 300, guys. We got 300. So here we go. So with the location, now I just put in the address for our like PO box where we get our business mail and everything at, that 13833 number. So I put that in there, but look what it gives us. $349. We can get the standard dish. There it is, right? The little kickstand and the bullshit. You got the standard kit, and then you have the standard kit with the roof accessory, right? The roof installation. And if you look, you see this roof installation? This is something new. Check it out. $185 roof installation. Have Starlink permanently installed at your residence. You will receive an email with instructions to schedule your install with a third-party provider. A mount will be required for roof installation and can be purchased below at the time of your installation. So there you go. For $185, I can have this dish installed for me by a third party. And I did a whole piece on this. I talked about this. I think it's really interesting because they're going through like this one company that is making ass loads of money installing these dish. Is just crazy. But you see this, $349. So forget about this 185 bucks. Let's just go back to the standard kit. What's also interesting here is you have the residential plan, which is $120. But now look underneath it. You notice there's something here that's not the norm. Do you see right here we have refurbished? Check this out. Click on that. It goes from $349 to $199. So they still give you the Gen 3, they still give you the same package, but it's a return, and then they refurbish it, and now all of a sudden the kit is now $199. That's it. Pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Now check this out. Why am I not seeing the $0 Starlink kit with 12-month plan or residential light? So let's click on that. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see this dark area here? It says the $0 Starlink kit with 12-month plan and residential light are only available in select areas at this time. If you're in an area that's eligible, you will see these options when ordering after entering your address. So there you go. So I know that I am eligible. It's not saying that I am. And the reason I know is because I got an email saying, hey, do you want a free kit? And we will send it to you for nothing. You just have to activate it and be with us for a year. I just don't do it because, like I said, I got this Gen 2 up here. It's perfect, and I'm pulling crazy numbers. Like you saw today, 355 down and like, I don't know, 15, 16 up with like 24 ping, 24 milliseconds. I mean, that's sufficient. Anyways, so I just wanted to bring this up to your attention so you can see what's going on here. Let me go over to here. I said I was gonna go like a while ago, and I'm still around here. I'm still here. It's like over 2 hours. I need to get off. I need to get out of here, so I can let you guys have a good weekend. Let me see. Tim says you might have to put in Bill Gates' Windows in for the upgrades. God. I think one version of Windows 11 is end of life. So it's actually Windows 10 that's end of life in August. I believe it's August. October? No, I think it's August. By the way, you need dancing fat emoji. Yes, I do. I do. Bill Gates dancing. I think that's a good idea. We're gonna have to find a lot of dancing people. Okay, we're gonna put a lot of dancing people on here. Carly says, "Why can I not find the Starlink with Generation 4?" That's when we went into the thing. We took a look at that. All right. Moving down. Gallagirl's here. Thank you so much, Gallagirl, for being here. Questionable. Today is the last Amazon Prime Day. Did you purchase anything? Do you use electric shaver or what brand? Recommendation: 4K security cam without subscription. My 2K will blur faces. Yeah. So many companies have sent me their 4K security cameras. I would like to ask you, Gallagher, how many 4K security cameras have you seen me review on this channel so far? That's how many good ones there are. I'm not shitting you. At this point, I stopped receiving them. When they contact me because they want me to review it and put it on the channel, I simply say, can I read a license plate at 10 meters? That's all I say. Very simple, 30 feet. Can I read a license plate? Every single one of them since, they don't even follow up with that. So the bottom line is I have not found any of these Chinese-based security cameras that are worth a shit, because I won't review stuff on this channel that I'm going to give a bad review to, because it's a waste of my time, because now I'm not helping you. Just by trashing on something, that does not help me. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help the company. Why do it, right? So like I said, I've tried so many. I don't have an answer for you, gal girl, because they're all crap. I have not found a good one yet. Or none of them have sent me one that's worth a shit yet. If I find one, I will review it, and I'll tell you how great it is. And at that point, it really will be great, because it'll be the only one. Anyways, let's see. Moving on. Here's a question. Let me see. Shannon pulls out a gifted memberships, 10 gifted. Thank you, Shannon. I can't believe you're still here, Shannon. Thank you. Bill, and who else? Let me see who else. Cone Lewis. Mick got a free member. No, Mick wrote something. Ebony Wolf. Who else? Programmer Design got one. Wayne, Jordan. There's a bunch. If you got a free membership, Todd and Ben, if you got a free membership, please say thank you to Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Mick says Tim Cook is killing Apple now. I can go on and on about Tim Cook. They've gotten so far behind with AI due to the internal... Yeah, so internal bickering with these people has always been an issue. The problem is in the past, the bickering would always end with jobs. So there was always fighting, inner fighting, all kinds of shit going on. But when it all came down to it, jobs would be... And that's the way they would go. But with this Tim guy, it's always been like this meandering thing, right? And I agree with you. I agree with you. They are just, they're far behind. The stuff that they're doing, in my personal opinion, is just not like what does Apple have? What do they have? They have this, right? This is their moneymaker. What else do they got? The watch, iPad is pretty good. They have like some of these, right? You got like a MacBook Pro, whatever. You got some of those. I mean, it's a small market, guys. Like their computer is a small market. It's tiny. People are like, oh, it's an Apple. It's an Apple. But it's like 12% of the market or something. Maybe even less. It's nothing. The only thing that really commands like a lot of money and that gets a really large portion of the market is their phones, and that's it. If they didn't have that, they have got nothing. So, and like someone said, I mean, it's literally same old going on over there at Apple. It's the same crap over and over and over. That's all they do is just, you know, give you an extra lens. Now, pretty soon you're going to have like 10, 20 of them in the back of your phone. And you have a little bit faster processor, which you're going to have anyways, because it's just the nature of the beast. That's just how it goes. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that Apple's days are numbered, but I just feel like they're not progressing with anything that's new. They tried like the goggle bullshit that didn't work, you know, the augmented reality, AI, all that. It's just nothing. It's just they're basically swinging at nothing. It's nothing like when the, you know, like a their pods came out, like their MP3 players came out like back in the day, or like, you know, nothing big has been happening with them at all. So yeah, I don't know the direction they're going, to be honest with you. Let's see, Girl and Pro and GoPro cams will give you 2K and 4K and cheaper. Yes, you can use that's a good point. Mo has a good point there. You can use GoPro cams. They do much better than security cams. The problem is you need software. You got to run them, right? So you can Wi-Fi them, I guess, and you can run them. You have to have like a PoE kind of thing. You know, you have to have some kind of power. Like you could do it. You could definitely do it. Maybe put it in a housing. Mo, you want to build it? Let's build something. Because I tell you what, the cameras that they have on Amazon are crap. They are crap. Those security cameras are crap. And just like you said, I mean, a GoPro, even an older GoPro looks better. So yeah, I don't know. I have to make something. Anyways, guys, listen. It is 2.5 hours. I got to get out of here. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I gotta close up shop so we can go back and kind of finalize some things here. I'll probably tonight look into a little bit of this reverb thing that was going on. See if we can find out, you know, what was the story. Maybe we'll put Bozo on here while we're just hanging out for a minute. So coming into the next week, I have a bunch of different things that I want to be doing. So just hang tight. I think it's going to be a pretty full week coming up. So I'm kind of excited about it, you know, that we're back. I will be leaving, I believe, by the end of next week again. So I'm trying to get as much done before I leave again. When I do leave, it's only going to be for like 3, 4, 5 days or something. It's not going to be like 3 weeks like the last time. So, but I will be recording even when I'm on the road. But like I did last time, I'll take you with me. You can see the pictures. Definitely follow me over on Instagram for any kind of video and on the community page for photos. Okay, that works out pretty decent also. We'll leave Bozo down there. We'll just let him just kind of hang out and, you know, do all of the stuff that he does here. We just love that. Look at he's just a beast. This man's a beast. So, anyways, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Shan. Thank you all. Thank the moderators. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, everybody out there. Peter, thank you for being here. I hope everyone had a good time this Friday, TGIF. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And once again, we'll see you on Monday. Take care, guys. Love you all.